What's going on, y'all? We're going to talk about the importance of taking that first step. Taking that first step can lead to new journeys, new adventures, but it also can be the hardest step that we take. We're working up against Newton's first law, starting out. An object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. So, you got to overcome that inertia, the initial, that first step. And taking that first step can be hard because, even walking itself, it builds. First, you got to stand up, and then you got to will yourself out of balance. You got to push yourself forward. And walking is nothing more than just a graceful art of falling. You're just catching yourself with your legs. It's productive falling. And so that's what taking your first step should be like. I know I've stopped myself many times before I even started because, I don't know how it's going to go. But you got to take that first step, that first shot. Think of it like sighting in a gun, sighting in your sights of where you want to go, and taking that first step towards it. If you're sighting in a gun, you can line up that sight all day. Line up your shot. You can have the perfect shot. But if you never pull that trigger and take that step, you're never going to know if you hit the target. You're never going to know if you're even close. So, taking that shot allows you to adjust course as you see needed. Maybe you need to move a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. So we can adjust course by taking that first step. If we're moving closer to our goals or further away from them. And taking that first step is going to be hard. We're talking about overcoming that initial inertia. If you're in your car and you're at a stoplight, turns green, you're going to use more gas getting up to speed than you would at speed. Because you don't need to overcome that initial inertia to get that weight moving. I think it's rockets, they spend or use something like 80% of their fuel on that initial takeoff. They have to break that initial tension to get to where they want to go. So, yes, taking those first steps are going to be hard, but they do get easier. And even if you're changing directions, taking steps in a new direction, let's say you've been smoking for 10 years, and you've been walking this path for 10 years. You're not going to be able to turn on a dime. Think of it kind of like a ship. You're on a big ass cruise ship going down the ocean, and it's going to change course. It's going to take a second to change that course, and it has to overcome that resistance of that current to change that into that new direction. And this resistance is going to be strongest at the first. From the jump, you're going to meet the hardest pull on the wheel, and it's going to want to continue going straight. But if you maintain that course, maintain those actions, maintain those steps, eventually that resistance fades because you become aligned with that new direction. So, what is a step that you could take today that would bring you closer to your goals? What is the step that scares you most that you've been putting off? What is the step that you've been doing everything around but that one thing? Comment down below, let me know, and take that step. Enjoy the fall. Don't worry, you'll catch yourself with the next step and the next step. And pretty soon, you're going to get to where you want to go. Peace and love, everybody. Take care.